View.com. I'm Flash, and if you're looking at my smile, it's because I went 100% last week. Here comes C Pigeon. This is Premier League punters, and Martin Green and Matt Lawrence are both with me. Matt, you're doing all right. Martin, you're doing all right, but I'm doing great.
Well done. Feels great to be here.
Yeah, and then obviously in the little letters and the T's and C's, there was only 4 games and I only had 3 selections. But anyway, listen, let's crack on. What do you think of the card this week, Martin?
I think there's a few games I like the look of. Overall, I'd say it's quite a tricky card, but I think you can always be wrong, but I think some of the favourites should do well because they've had 2 weeks off. They've had plenty of time to plot a victory over their opposition, and I think we could see some high-scoring games as well because a lot of the forwards will be well rested. I'm looking forward to it, but yeah, a couple of tricky ones and a few that I like the look of.
And you, Matt?
I like this card. A lot of great matches.
Wow.
So I'm ready to break them down with you guys.
We're liking that. Okay, well, why don't we start off with Wolves? 2.6 plus 160, draw 3.35 plus 235, and Leicester at 2.95 plus 195. Martin, take us away.
So, I think this could be an interesting game between Wolves and Leicester. Not quite sure who's going to win because I think they're pretty similar in terms of quality. I know that Leicester are having a better season than Wolves, but Wolves are the home side at Molineux. I think they might cancel one another out. Finished 0-0 when they played on the opening day of the season. But I think we could be in for a bit more of a high-scoring game in this one. Don't think it's going to be huge, but I can see both teams getting on the score sheet, so I'm going with that at 1.81.
Okay, 1.81 is a great start with both teams to score. And Matt, where are you going?
Friday night under the lights at Molineux. I'm going to ride with Wolves here. I think they get the better of the Foxes. Leicester have been in some questionable form recently. They've only taken 11 points from their last 9 matches. I'm not hearing the greatest things from Wilfred Ndidi and his injury. I heard he's not playing with 100% fitness right now. And I don't think that Chowdhury is the kind of player that can really replace Ndidi with his tackling, the way he protects the back four. And, I wanted to take Wolves here, just straight win, but the slow starts consistently from them has me just playing a little bit more cautiously. I've got Wolves, draw no bet, 1.88 or minus 124.
Yeah, I had a problem here because I thought that it was going to be 0-0 again. I really thought that the draw was live. Then I think to myself, Wolves are going to outclass Leicester, surely to God. In the end, listen, both teams to score 1-1. I just couldn't pull the trigger. I'm at the lofty heights, and we'll put the records up halfway through because we've only got like 7 or 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 games. I just thought to myself, I'll wait and we'll have a look. But no, I'm going to pass. I'm going to actually pass on this and look after my profits for last week. Now, Matt, Southampton 1.8, which is minus 125. The draw at 3.8, which is plus 280. Burnley 5.0 plus 400. Where are you going?
This is a tricky one for me. This is the only one that I've passed this week. I really want to take Southampton. I think that they're a better side than Burnley. I think they have more quality across the pitch. I was happy to see that James Ward-Prowse should be back in the lineup. I thought that injury in the Cup would be pretty bad for him, and he might miss the rest of the campaign, but it doesn't look that way. That's a huge improvement then on set piece quality for Southampton. He's one of the best set piece takers in the league. This one is just tough, because the Saints haven't beaten Burnley since October of 2016. Burnley have their number, and that's the one part that just is keeping me away from this one.
What about you, Martin?
Yeah, I agree. I don't like this one at all. I think Southampton have been in pretty good form before it fizzled out, before the break. They're a tricky team for me. Both of these teams are teams that I like to avoid, especially Burnley. You never quite know what you're going to get. They've had some bad results this season, but I do still think they're a good team. They're real fighters. They'll battle for every ball. They'll certainly make life difficult for Southampton by pumping balls into the box. At odds of 4-1, I can see people having a bet on Burnley as a long shot in this one, but for me, I'm just going to leave it alone and pass.
Okay, well, I'm not passing, but can you just confirm, because I've left all my prices on my desk and I can't nip out while we're live on air, but I'm going to go with Burnley, draw no bet, and I'm pretty sure it's 3.5. Can you just confirm that? And I'll give, while you're doing that, I'll tell you the reasons why. Burnley are far too strong. Burnley can sit deep. They hit it from back to front. I was even thinking that Burnley were going to win this 2-1, so I was going to do the Alex Classic, or Burnley even to win at plus 400, but I just thought, worst case scenario, I do not see Burnley getting beat in this. They're overpriced. They have the Indian sign over Saints. You have these sides that you just can't match up against, and I just believe that Burnley go away with something. So if it means it's a void bet because it's a draw, then so be it, but I'm happy to have Burnley, and I think it's 3.5. Is that right?
Correct, yeah. A lot of books have got it at 3.5. One's even gone out to 3.6 just in the last few minutes. So, yeah, maybe wait. It might go out even further. But, yeah, very good, very high set of odds.
Yeah, I just don't see Burnley getting beat. And worst case scenario, I think I'm going to get a push. If Southampton do win, then so be it. Moving on to the next one. Very tough to find value in this one. Norwich at 12, which is plus 1100. The draw at 6.5, which is plus 550. And Liverpool 1.33, which is minus 303. And it's probably all right if you put it in a parlay. But Martin, is this a trap? And do Liverpool get beat?
I can't see Liverpool getting beat in this one. No, I mean, you've got the top versus the bottom team in the league. They've won every game but one, so 24 wins in 25 games. They're still unbeaten. I think they'll take care of Norwich in pretty clinical fashion, which they've been doing throughout the season. I was talking with Matt about this game before the show, and we were saying that they should really come flying out of the blocks. They've got a big European game next week, so they'll probably want to build up a lead early, then maybe take a foot off the pedal in the second half and start resting players. I'm looking at Liverpool to win half-time and full-time in this one. Got odds of 1.91 on that. Liverpool have been winning 19 out of 25 games so far this season at half-time. And Norwich are pretty weak opposition. So half-time, full-time for Liverpool, 1.91.
I just worry about this game, Matt, being one of them games that typifies the Premier League when Liverpool beat everyone, outclass everyone. And remember, Man City went here as champions and got beat, Matt.
Yes, I mean, copy and paste what Martin just said for me as well. It's Liverpool halftime, full-time, or nothing in this matchup. The last time that these two teams faced at Carroll Road was a thriller. It was in Jurgen Klopp's first season. It was a 5-4 late Lallana, jumps into Jurgen's arms, and that's kind of where this run is, started off from, and now it's still going on. So, but you're right. Atletico Madrid on deck. Definitely looking ahead to that one. That is going to be a tough travel spot at the Wanda, and I expect to see a rotated squad here. Origi might be up top. I don't expect Mane to feature here. Oxlade-Chamberlain could get a look at the front three. So for that one, I do think that they can take care of business early and hold on to this one against a porous Norwich side, halftime, full-time for me.
Yeah, I remember watching that Liverpool game when Jurgen Klopp had his glasses broken in the celebrations. My daughter was getting ready for a West End show and I had to kill 5 hours on a Saturday morning come lunchtime. Okay, don't like this next game, that is for sure. Aston Villa, 4.25 plus 325. The draw at 3.9, which is plus 290. And Spurs at 1.91, which is minus 110. Matt?
Yeah, this one's pretty tough from a side perspective, I think. Opening match week, Villa take a 1-0 lead, and then they get thrashed 3-1. I can't pull the trigger on Villa. I think this is going to be a tough trip for Tottenham, especially with the look ahead of Leipzig. But, I mean, just going through some of the trends here. Villa's last 8 matches, both teams have scored. 9 of 12 of Villa's last home matches have seen both teams to score. Over 2.5 goals in 20 of Villa's last 25. And then on the flip side, when you look at Tottenham, 9 of 12 on the road have seen both teams score, and they've given up at least 2 goals in 12 of 18 away matches this season. It's a tough trip. I like both teams to score and over 2.5 at evens. Alex Classic for me here.
Okay, Alex Classic at 2, which is plus 100. Martin, are you on the same page?
Yeah, I'm on exactly the same page. Alex Classic, both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at even money. Yeah, I always like both teams to score when Aston Villa are playing because they're poor at the back. They've got their injury problems, but Jack Grealish can always pull something out of thin air, always conjures up a moment of magic. They typically get on the score sheet. He's been linked with Tottenham in the past. I think he'll want to have a good game against them. And Spurs, as we know, they're a lot leakier at the back than what we're used to, but they still can hurt Aston Villa going forwards. Could probably see Spurs winning this one 2-1, but not quite sure how the outrights will go. So yeah, the Alex Classic for me as well, 2.0.
Yeah, the thing I had the problem with here is Tottenham. I can't trust them. It looks like their attitude more than their actual talent. I wanted to side with Villa. I wanted to go with double chance. In the end, I've said that Villa are going down, so I can't have my money on them winning a game to stay up, and I can't have anywhere near Spurs. I think Spurs is a massive trap to win at 1.91. I'm not going to make it my official trap because my official trap is in Serie A this weekend, but I'm going to leave this game alone as well and look forward to going to the Emirates. But before we do that, here at SBR, we have a poker tournament on Saturday night. It starts at 8:30 Eastern Time. Take it away, Lee.
Hey guys, Lee Martin here. On Saturday, February 15th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, SBR is hosting a poker charity tournament to raise awareness about Angelman syndrome, or AS. AS is a rare disorder that currently has no cure. Symptoms include developmental delays, no or minimal use of words, seizures, and a few other serious conditions. To take part in the event, reserve a seat by logging into the SBR Poker client and buy into the event with 200 bet points. For each buy-in made, SBR will donate $20 to cureangelman.org. If you're curious if this is a legitimate charity, know that this is SBR's 6th year running this tournament. SBR will also provide a list of donors as well as an invoice of payment to the charity once the event concludes. Over here at SBR, we have members of our forum family that have been directly affected by this syndrome. Our goal is to raise more awareness and help drive fundraising to support research and an eventual cure for Angelman syndrome. We hope for an even greater turnout this year, so please spread the word to friends, family, and anyone else who is willing to participate in the event. I'll see you then.
Thanks, Lee. I'm looking forward to playing in that. It'll be 7:30 Costa Rican time, so I should be finished by about 7:35 Costa Rican time. Okay, we're going to go to the Emirates now. Martin, you're going to love this. Arsenal 1.45, which is minus 222. The draw 4.75 plus 375. And Newcastle 8.0, which is plus 700. Newcastle, never know what you're going to get with them, but you've been knocking them all year.
I have, but they've certainly surprised me. I didn't think Steve Bruce was going to be up to much at St James's Park this season, but they're looking good mid-table. I think they'll be fine in the second half of the campaign, mainly on the strength of their home form, though. They are in a decent unbeaten run before the break. But I just think this is time for Arsenal to start winning. They've proved themselves to be the draw kings of the league. 13 draws in 25 games, which is outrageous, and a negative goal difference as we head into mid-February. But I just think now Mikel Arteta's going to have had a bit of time with this team. He's going to have been able to drill them on the training ground, put some tactics together, and actually plot a victory for once over a team that are in the bottom half of the table. This has got to be a game that Arsenal win. They've got Aubameyang back up front, plenty of attacking firepower. I know Newcastle are stubborn at the back, but I think Arsenal will eventually overwhelm them in this game. So, classic bet, Arsenal to win, under 4.5 goals, 1.8, which is minus 125.
Yeah, excellent. Really like that. I think it will be frustrating. I mean, I think you could have been a little bit braver maybe and gone with under 3.5, maybe 2 or 3-0. Matt, what are you thinking? And do you think Newcastle get anything out of the game?
I don't. I like Martin's points, really being able to drill the side in over the last couple weeks. I definitely think this is an unders match. For the last few shows, I've leaned under on all these Arsenal matches, and they keep coming in. I'm playing it this time. Under 3 goals 1.75 or minus 135 is what I found. Arteta, the one thing that he's done for this squad has stabilized this defense, which is really impressive for me, especially with some of the quality of the players in the back. When you're looking at Mustafi and Luiz and whatnot, it's not good enough, but he's been able to do a decent job with that. I see this as a low-scoring, scrappy match, and you really don't know what you're ever going to get from Newcastle.
Well, I'm hoping I'll get naught from Newcastle because I'm going back to the old well of Arsenal to win to nil at 2.4. I can see this being 1 or 2-0. And mostly not because of Arsenal's defensive problems, but because of Newcastle like to park the bus. They like to have 5 across, 2 front screens and frustrate Arsenal. Yeah, they've got players that could hit them on the break. They just don't take their chances. They're not deadly enough. So Arsenal to win to nil for me at 2.4. Now, biggest game of the weekend. Chelsea 1.85, which is minus 118. The draw is 3.8 plus 280. And Man United 4.55 plus 355. Massive on the away side. But do you trust them, Matt?
I don't. I would lean slightly towards the away side if I had to pick a side in this match. Abraham isn't firing. I did just want to make a quick point that Hakeem Ziyech, that signing that just occurred that will go down in the summer from Ajax, looks like a really good one for Chelsea. But they don't know. Frankie doesn't really know what's going on right now at the back. Who's going to start here in goal? Is it going to be Kepa? I don't know. He was dropped in the last match at Leicester. So that's just something that's interesting. With the break as well, United get to bring in Bruno Fernandes and get him more acclimated to the side here. But I've settled on under 2.5 goals in this match at 1.93 or minus 108 here. I think this is going to be cagey. The teams really just don't have enough clinical finishing for me here right now at this moment. Could this one have goals? Of course it could, but I'll stick my nose out and hang on an under here.
Under, looking for a boring game or an exciting, close fought one, Martin. Where are you going?
I don't like this game at all, Flash. We obviously saw Chelsea get thrashed at Old Trafford on the opening day of the season. Since then, their fortunes have certainly improved and they're sitting in the top 4, which is a good place to be in February, considering the limitations they had in the transfer window last summer. But these are both 2 erratic teams for me. You never quite know what you're going to get with Man United. Very, very unpredictable side. I do think they can hurt Chelsea on the counter-attack in this game, take advantage of some of those naiveties at the back for the Blues. But you never quite know what you're going to get with Chelsea either. Like Matt said, defensive problems. Not sure if Lampard knows his best starting 11 right now. So pass for me, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and just going back to Matt saying about the new signing, don't worry, Chelsea can ruin a new signing. Do you remember there was Salah, there was De Bruyne, sent them out on loan, ended up elsewhere. Frightening the amount of players that have gone through Chelsea and they've never got to actually play. I'm liking this game. I've got 2 bets. I wrote an article over at SBR, sportsbookreview.com. Have a little look. I've gone with a draw. Outright, I've gone with a draw. I think it could be 0-0. I think worst case scenario, it's 1-1. And that's at 3.8, which is plus 280. And I've also gone with Man United at plus 0.5 on the Asian handicap at 2.10. So I'm more than happy. And what I'm thinking is Man United don't get beat. So if they go and win the game, I've just had a free bet on the draw. But I like the fact that I think the draw at 280 is well overpriced. So for me, I'm going for Chelsea, Man United, the draw, and Man United plus 0.5. So if we're just basically looking for it to come out as a draw. Really happy with that. And then obviously on Monday, we've already spoken about this game. Man City 1.14 minus 700, draw 10.0 plus 900, and West Ham at 23 plus 2200. Where are we going, Martin?
I didn't realise we were covering this one. Sorry, Flash. I think...
Well, do you remember what you said last week on the show?
I didn't realise we were covering a Wednesday game. That's very far away. Anything can happen by then,
No, don't be... No. Listen, we've already covered this game. We covered it last week before it got postponed. So I'm just reiterating to people what we said last week. Do you remember what you said last week?
I see. I'm with you now. Yes, I do remember what I said last week. And what I said last week was I am passing on this game.
There you go.
Because,
there you go.
I know the Man City are going to win it, but you
couldn't
the odds
find
are
the
so
value.
low. Who knows what's going to happen? Anything could. They beat them very narrowly previously, but they have thrashed West Ham quite a lot in recent times. So gonna pass. But yeah, if you're going for an accumulator or something, maybe give them a -1 Asian handicap or win to nil, something like that. But yeah, it's a pass from me.
There you go. You nearly said word for word what you said last week there once you got up and running. Matt, do you remember what you said about this game?
It was a pass last week. And really, the one play, though, that I did find was under 4 goals in the match. But that was basically just because of the weather, the high winds, maybe some rain. Was hoping for some hoof it ball up the pitch. But with better weather here, the value, I can't find any here. It's a pass.
Okay, that before, obviously, I think you both will remember exactly what I said I was going to do. And it's half a unit at 4-0 and half a unit at 5-0 at plus 800 and plus 1200. Nothing I can do about it because it's already on, and because they're playing within 2 weeks, the bet just rolls. So also, I've got to let everyone know that on Saturday this weekend, there's yellow warnings for weather. So we're expecting really high winds. We're expecting real amounts of rain. So if we are looking at some of these, the weather will affect the game. So there could be, but I mean, obviously that brings in both sides. That could be mistakes from defenders, so we have goals, or we can get players and teams don't actually get into their rhythm. Rafa, can you show me our Premier League record, please? There we go, 38.7, not to be touched by any other record in European soccer. Average price of 2.43. That'll be mostly my losers, but we're happy that it's up there at 2.43. That's also the highest average price as well. And can we have a look at the individuals, please? Here we go, Dave, who does the articles and he doctors them himself. 21.9 units of profit. He's absolutely sizzling, the lad. We love that. Average price of 2.49. Flash, -7.9. That's probably the best I've been since maybe week 3. Average 276. And Martin, 26.7 units of profit. Great average there, Martin, of 1.96. And next week, we will be putting Matt up there. Matt, stop sending me them fictitious winning bets, by the way, after the event, because they won't count until we get you on the board, and you will be on the board next Thursday, okay?
All right, 10, 5, and 1.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to get rid of Dave. Dave's no good to me writing out these articles. He writes them, sends them in after the event. Okay, Martin, listen, have a great weekend. Good luck in La Liga. Martin, keep up the great work. And obviously, just for those people that don't know, Martin, can you tell everyone your Twitter handle? Let's get you more followers and let's get you more interactive stateside.
Martin W. Green. Please follow me. It's going to be great. You're going to love it.
And Matt?
Matt J. _Lawrence.
What it not 1991 handicapper?
Yeah, no, I didn't feel like showing my age, anymore. So I thought it just would be better to go back to the old classic.
Right, so it's 1991 handicapper. Has that been retired?
It has been retired.
So have I got to refollow you, or does it do it automatically?
No, it still follows. It's all fine.
Okay, don't worry. Give me an hour and I'll unfollow. All right, listen, have a great weekend, gents. Enjoyed it. And Man City 4-0, Man City 5-0. One of them comes in, I'm going to be back in the black. You take care. I'll see you again soon.